Hello, dear patrons. Oh my god, you guys. This has been, without a doubt, the most challenging vocal challenge ever. This was insane. Um, it obviously took me quite some time to get some anywhere remotely decent. But I just recorded a version that I am happy with. And considering the inhumane robotic quality of this track, I think turned out quite okay. This was very challenging for a couple of reasons. Number one, most of the stuff that I have been singing lately has been for Dark Horse, White Horse. And as you may have heard on the previous live webcast, it's all very loud, very belty, very high, and a little bit pressed. So there's some distortion in there. There's some grit, that kind of thing. And this particular piece required me to totally open up my voice and make a lot of a way freer sound. So that was challenge number one. There were some notes there that I just couldn't reach, like not even remotely. So it took me quite a long time of doing lip trills, that kind of thing, and just practicing and trying to get my range higher again, because challenge number two, those really, really high notes at the end of this track are a little bit more what they call like flute register or fluitregister in Dutch. I really don't know if there's a specific term in English, but it's a part of my range that I never use. And although I had used at some point, there was this lesson that I had 3 years ago with Alberto Turdust, my Uber sensei and vocal guru, in which, of course, as amazing as he is, he managed to get those F sharps out of me in one lesson. But that was a really long time ago. And it's something that I never, ever practice, and something that is completely out of my comfort zone. Because if I want to go to that very high range, I end up doing something that is more, Mariah Carey kind of thing, that kind of peep, very squeaky tones, which it can also make very high, but it's not what you would do, for instance, in this track and in an opera, because that sound is not loud enough to carry, in a full theater. Not that what I did would. It's I think it's somewhere in between. It's not very loud either. So if you listen, don't think that this is in any chance, for instance, what you hear on the Queen of the Night, that area from the Magic Flute. It's not nearly as loud as it should be, I think. On the other hand, I think when I listen to the recording of the original, it's also very, it's not super duper loud. So I thought you know what? This is good enough. Full disclosure, I recorded it in parts. So basically I recorded the dance part first, and then I went back and recorded the opera section. Because the opera part, it's a little bit darker, a little bit heavier, and I found it very hard to make my sound very light and very bright as it needed to be, that kind of thing, after I've been Il dolce suo, so I ended up recording the diva dance part first, and then I went back and did the opera part. I think it's, It's not perfect, not nearly as perfect. And there's of course some things that I had to do different. Like there's a very quick da 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 part in there somewhere that I really wanted to do very staccato, but because it's so high, it was just I did my best. I think I did kind of like split the notes a little bit, so I'm quite happy about that. But at some point I thought like, you know what, this is good enough. I'm gonna leave it at that. And well, I will be awaiting your opinion. What do you think? Did I succeed in this challenge? And yeah, well, thank you again for making me practice my float register. I hope you like it. And I will see you soon. Bye.